This is CharaeBChicago podcast, and I am your host, Charae. As humans, there are many layers to us, and life has a way of adding to those layers. Here we talk about the basics, our roots. What are your roots, and your reason for what you do and why you do what you do? Is it your family, your birthland, or perhaps your faith? Whatever it is, let's talk about it. And remember to stay rooted. What's up, what's up, what's up? How you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of CharaeBChicago podcast. And I am your host, Charae. I am doing a solo episode. I know I've had some guests in the past, and they were wonderful. They were great. I appreciate their time. But I like to take this time right here to just talk to you guys. See, what I realize or what has came to my mind is I'm talking to everyone about their roots, and I figured I should talk a little bit about mine. This is definitely not my first podcast. And if you remember the episode with my first guest, who is my mentor, shout out to Young Gotti, he definitely was like, okay, so is this the last podcast? Are we staying consistent with this one? I am happy to say we are staying consistent, Gotti, in case you're listening, all right? We are staying consistent. With this episode, I thought about where in my roots am I going to go? Am I going to go with my family? Are we going to go with my faith? Or are we going to go with what I do, which is talk, podcast, host? I use my voice. And as interesting as it is, I didn't always feel comfortable using my voice as much as I use it now, and I use it to reach people, talk to people, communicate, and to do what I love, which is allow people to do what they love and express that. So I figure we'll get into the root of why does Charae pod in the first place? Why does she talk in the first place? Because I'm not I'm not the most consistent in projects. However, I am definitely the most consistent in talking. That is where I'm definitely consistent. If you know me, you know that I love to talk. If you could go back to another episode where I was speaking with Be Poetic and we talked about how I met her through her boyfriend, and she said to herself, like, oh, she said to her boyfriend, oh, she's quiet. And he was like, Charae? No. Yeah, I'm not. And not at all. I'm the most outgoing. However, it may shock some people that at one point I was known as being shy. I didn't speak up a lot. I didn't really say much. And that was really in school. I mainly did that in school, in grammar school. In high school, I came out. It was like, yo, I'm ready to talk. I'm not being quiet. And I say in middle school is what helped me break out of it. Around the 7th grade, I was like, okay, yeah. I definitely just started thinking about the things that I did before I started potting and where a lot of stuff started. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to do those videos. So remember when everybody was doing like those quick videos or posting videos to get a start? Some of our most famous people on the internet today are doing other things outside of quick videos. You got King Bosh, B. Simone, Jess Hilarious, and got started on videos. DC Young Fly. Around that time they were doing videos, I was doing videos. And it's interesting because at one point I thought of moving to California. I actually, in my spirit, was told to go. I didn't go. This is one of those spiritual regrets that I have, just to be transparent. But with or without that, I really was working on doing those because I thought it was interesting. People started calling me a comedian, and I was not a comedian. I didn't find myself to be a comedian. I didn't want to be a comedian. I didn't want that on me to call myself a comedian at that time. Today, now, I don't mind going on stage and telling a few jokes. I still wouldn't consider myself a comedian just because I know there are people who really work on that craft, really put in the time for that. And I do not. Okay? Let me tell you, I don't put in the same time for that. I put in more time when it comes to video and content, as in speaking with others, because I really enjoy having conversation with others and getting to know them and seeing what makes them tick. Hence the podcast now. And I always was just doing that in different ways by choosing a specific topic when I realized it ultimately I just wanted to get to the root of everything. That's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to get to the root of why this, why that. Some people may know me from a previous podcast called Sex on Sex Podcast. That was with another guest. I really wanted to do that. Shout out to Aaron, A.A. Ron, the Fupa fighter. I really wanted to do that one because I really wanted to talk to people about relationships, because I do think that they are the bedrock of America. Like, families is what keeps America going, keeps America flowing in a positive way, in a good way. So that's why I wanted to communicate about that. Plus, people want relationships. They want to be together. Why not talk about being together? Like, seriously. I mean, we can't hide from each other. As much as this gender war, quote unquote, is going on, but really it's just a bunch of people talking because they want marriage and just not sure how to do it. So they're just frustrated and just expressing it. So that's all I see. I know that doing those different topics and those different conversations for me was just a start of me being able to talk and speak on the things that are very important to me. When I was younger, what really started it all was poetry. I used to write poetry like no other. I would write it all the time. I remember when I used to write little short stories with a girl in school. Oh my God. Like, it's just bringing back all these memories, thinking about when I started to use my voice, how I used to do the videos, how I used to write poetry, how I used to rap. Yeah, your girl used to say a rhyme or two, used to flow. Anybody who knows. I was a freestyler straight off the dome, not the freestyle today where we know people who's just rapping with no hook. That's basically what freestyling is today. But the original freestyle of something straight off your head. That's it. Just no written, it's coming straight off the head. So that's what I did. And I used to also be a part of a group, Hit 'em Squad. You know, it was me and two other gentlemen. We tried to do our thing and it didn't work out. We only recorded a couple of songs. All these things about me using my voice just got me thinking about how I really, really enjoy creativity with writing and speaking. Because the number one fear for people is public speaking, which is just vocal expression. If you try to think of it differently. However, even expressing yourself is difficult for people. How many people are walking and talking in silence about how they feel or what they are thinking? And with all of the drama and issues and craziness that's happening in the world and in people's private time, Switch is coming to my mind right now. When he did what he did, it was a surprise to a lot of people because he just seemed so happy. And I'm putting up quotation marks, like my fingers as I say that, because a lot of times the happiest people are really the saddest. And it makes me think of, in what way are they finding a healthy outlet to express themselves? You know, even with this love for vocally speaking and saying what I want to say, I didn't always do it in a healthy way, and I'm still finding ways to do it in healthy ways. Sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I say more than I need to. Sometimes I'm not careful with my words. Sometimes I can say things and it hurts. Sometimes I can not say something when I needed to say something because of whatever doubt or illusion I put to my mind. I can only imagine the people who may need help expressing themselves or did express themselves and they didn't get a response that was healthy. They didn't get the help that they needed that was healthy. So they walk and talk in silence, or they don't have an outlet, period. I know for some boxers or some people that fight professionally said that was one of the ways, and now they get paid to do what helps them release stress. When I used to skate, a lot of skaters would say that they just put it all on the wood. You get on the wooden floor and you just roll out your feelings and let it go and leave it there. I wonder how many people are not finding a way to really release what they have going on in a healthy way, in a way where you can grow, evolve, mature, get some things off your chest. Today I write. For me to really release things, I write. I write for myself, by myself. It's just for me. If there's something that maybe I need or maybe I need to be able to just talk to somebody, sometimes I just talk to somebody. I say things now to get it out. And in the beginning, when I started talking, my mom would be like, whoa, yeah, I'm glad you're starting to say things out loud, because boy, the stuff that's in your head. Yeah, you need to talk these things out. When I came to Christ, I was so grateful. I have other people who walk with Christ to help me, other Christians to help me process going into a new faith and following Christ. That was very different and difficult. It was difficult. It was not easy. If you think, oh, I'm saved and now you're supposed to be all hunky-dory. No, it does not. It gets easier eventually, like anything else. But in the beginning, no, it was not easy, okay? It's like sometimes when I speak, I try not to mention the Bible. But it's like every time I want to say something, express something, I want to bring up the Bible. So sometimes I just have to acknowledge my audience. Like, okay, this one I may use the Bible. This one I might, or this I might just not say anything because I can't find a way not to mention the Bible. It's like all the answers are there, sir. All the answers are there, ma'am. It's the things that be going through my mind. But okay. You got all the questions. God has all the answers. It's in the book. That's what I'll be thinking. But I really pray that people find ways to express themselves, to let go, you know? Holding on things is not good. And there's so many people that's doing that. And thankfully, because I was born expressive, I've been able to find outlets. Writing was an outlet. I've already was speaking, so it took a minute because I had, oh my God, the insecurities, the amount of insecurities and delusion I was sitting in. Can we talk about the delusion? The delusion? I was so delusional, thinking I had it under control. What? I thought I had it under control. People need people. As many times as I hear people say, you don't need nobody, you don't need no. What are you talking about? You do. You just don't need the people who are not for you. That is what it is. The conversation needs to change from I don't need nobody to I don't need people who are not going to healthy support me. And even that needs a comma or a subtitle under it, because some people are so sensitive when someone's actually helping them. They don't know how to take it. Like when the truth hits you, it hurts. It's not supposed to be easy. Growing and evolving is not supposed to be it's not supposed to be easy, period. I'm not even going to say necessarily. It's not easy because you're changing from what you used to do. You're becoming and doing something different. That means it's not something you're used to. So it's anything you're not used to can come off uncomfortable. So the truth will hurt because you're not comfortable. You're going to feel something. It's going to be different and it's not going to be easy. So if you have someone in your life who tells you the truth, and I mean truth to evolve, truth to change, take it into consideration, think about it. Don't automatically throw it away unless you have some people who are trying to tell you not to do something that you are actually talented in. And I mean actual talent, because we all have seen American Idol. Not everybody has some talent there now. Some of y'all really are tone deaf and need a singing coach. So then maybe then you have someone who tells you, you really, like my mother. I'm going to use this as an example. My mom, right? I remember I told my mom, I said, Mom, I want to be a singer. My mama looked at me and said, baby, you don't have a voice. Now, I could get you some singing lessons. Now, if you really want to be able to sing, we can talk about getting you some singing lessons. But, baby, you cannot sing. You do not have a voice, a singing voice. And some people will probably hear that and be like, dang, your mama was killing dreams. No, she offered assistance and was honest. Baby, you can't sing, but I can help you. That's what she said. I can help you learn how. How many singers do we have out there now who can't sing but got a singing coach and we buy their albums? Come on now. It ain't that hard to think of it. I just thought about 3 while I'm saying it. So it's about getting people who are there for support and to be honest. You need both. Is their truth supportive or is their truth hurtful? Meaning it's just coming with some, nah, you can't do that. It's different. That's not going to work. That's different. What if opposed to somebody saying, that's not going to work. I did that before, but I did this, or that's not going to work. I know a friend who tried that and failed, but I can contact you with with them and they can help you do it this way. Is it coming with support or is it just coming with a no? That's the question. Is it just coming with the you crazy, or is it coming with the you crazy for thinking that? Well, I have somebody who can help you think better. That's not really how it works. But you could try this. Is that how it's coming? That's what you need to ask yourself. Not so much if they're just telling a truth or an uncomfortable truth, but what's attached to that uncomfortable truth. If you're doing something and you think it's helping you, I can't watch you hurt yourself. Well, it's going to hurt, but they don't want to watch you hurt yourself. Yet I am here to help. So many of us think that we don't need help, that we can do this by ourselves. You are not meant to do this on your own. Even that phrase, if I came into this world by myself, I'm gonna leave by myself. No, you did not get here by yourself. You got here off your mama's breast. You needed some milk. How many of us need some milk and are afraid to ask for the milk? And even people who are in foster care understand the concept of needing people because they felt alone all the time. So they know what it actually means. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Some of them. I don't know the ratio. You can't talk to every single person who was in foster care. However, I know there's some of them who understand they needed people because they never had people. Maybe that's what it is with some people. You've been spoiled with having people in your life that you don't realize that you needed them. You've been blessed with people in your life, and you haven't taken good advantage of having those people in your life. When there's people walking around, came into this world, they didn't come here by themselves. Their mama had to push them out, get a C-section or whatever happened. They didn't get here by themselves. They got here by their mother, by the bare minimum. We ain't gonna talk about the father, because the mother didn't do it by themselves either. The mother needed the father in order to have you, and you needed her to get here safely. We do not come here by ourselves. Even if you don't believe in God, who really ordains it all, you can understand the physical thing that happens for you to get here. You do not get here by yourself, so you do not need to do things by yourself. You can get assistance. You will need assistance because God didn't just make Adam and did not bring Eve. You need people, period. You do not have to do it alone. You do not have all the answers. Ain't that what Kanye had to come back and tell Sway? You don't have all the answers. And he had to come back and tell us, well, you know what, you were right. Some of the things you said, you were actually right. We think we got to do things by ourselves. And that was one of my, I was delusional. I thought I had the answers. I did think that. And I don't. I love talking to my church family about the Bible and about their walk with God and my experience with learning God. I love talking to my auntie and talking to my friend Ela, who is also on the show, about working out and eating good and exercising. And I talk to my cousin and I talk to different people about that, okay? I love writing when I'm alone and speaking and feeling the spirit and talking to God when I'm alone. Even when I'm alone, I'm not alone. I love having God and people in my life because it lets me know I am not alone. I'm not by myself. When I lost what seemed to be everything, I was still not alone. What do I mean by seemed to have lost everything? I lost my job, my car. Me and my friend of 10 years ended our friendship at my apartment, and I had to move back in with my mom. And I lost all that within a month. No car, no job, no friend, no apartment. In a month. That all happened. And I couldn't have been happier. I mean, at least I mean, some people lose that and they don't have anybody. At least I was able to move back in with my mom. I think that's a lot of us around 25, 24. Some of us end up having to go back to moms. Not my mom's now, but a lot of us have that experience. They say that later in life you end up going back to mamas. Some people don't, but some people do. I was one of the people that did. Go back to the parents' house. Sometimes losing things and not having things is a good thing. But I wasn't alone. I was able to lean on my mom. There's a lot of people that can't say that. You know? Are you taking good advantage of the people that's in your life? Like, think about that. we so quick to say we want to do stuff by ourselves and not use the help or get any help. And I know specifically for men, this is very difficult. Because they think do you have any male homies? Like, I'm sure all y'all feel alone. Y'all, if no one understands another man feeling alone, is another man. And be careful with those, because sometimes you get those men who think that you got to be by yourself and macho. Those kind of men may not be the kind of men you need to be around. I'm just saying. Or take them in dosage. But sometimes, you need certain people in your life. How many women need to be able to be honest when they express themselves? Because with women, sometimes it's not hard for us to. Society allows us to express ourselves, rather. Society tells us it's okay to cry as a woman. How many times are you crying? Some of you sat so crying so much that when someone tells you woman up, you get offended? Are you receiving that help? Them words of encouragement to put your big grown panties on? There's so many things that can appear to be against us. And I didn't expect to talk about this. I really came in to talk about the root of me expressing myself with words, and it just led to me thinking about the people who don't take advantage of being able to use what they already have, because that's what I did. And I sincerely just pray that people think about that and really not be afraid to find out who's really there for them so that they can properly use their talents. That's why I had my mentor as my first guest. I am not supposed to do this on my own. I don't be posting clips and stuff because I really don't want to. I really want a team, okay? I want a team. I want a team to help me elevate this podcast. I do not want to do this by myself. And if you think I do, you are sadly mistaken. I really just want to talk. I want to communicate with other people. I want to express myself. I can even get help with ideas. I could get help with finding more guests, the clips and editing and all that stuff. I learned how to do that because I had to. But I really don't have to if I don't want to. Maybe be the extra eyes to help to bring the vision to life. Yeah, I could do that. There's somebody who actually edits or does clips and things of that sort. Help me. I don't have to do it by myself. We really do need people. And I'm so grateful that I understand that now. And that I'm not afraid to share my voice and manage it properly, my talent properly. I remember I was talking to my mom about that. It's crazy because I saw a video of how the greatest athletes need coaches. Like LeBron didn't do this without a coach. Vanessa Williams didn't do things without a coach. Michael Jordan didn't want to play on the team without the proper coach. He didn't want to play unless they had the proper coach. You need people to help you. So I started speaking. I got to use this voice. I started talking. And people that tell you, TMI, Charae, you're saying too much. I'm grateful for that. Listening back, like, for myself, and I'm hearing them like, I didn't really like that one. I didn't do that one. Didn't do that one too well. I have an episode right now sitting. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. And this is me being transparent. I didn't like it. I didn't like how I handled it. And I think I could have handled it way better. Way better. I still need help. Still need a coach. It's not going to go away because me wanting to use my voice is forever. For however long I'm supposed to do this, I'm going to do this. And for however long I do it, I'm going to need a coach. I'm going to need people to talk to to do this, for assistance, for advice. I take this seriously. This will be my livelihood. I'm not getting paid today to do this, but I'm doing it for free because I love this. So I won't have to work a day in my life. That's the goal. That's the plan, to not have to work a day in my life. So I'm doing what I want to do for free so that one day I can eventually get paid. But the only way somebody's going to want to pay for this is if I do this properly. And I do it right in a sense of where people want to pay attention and listen. And you really don't know if people want to pay attention and listen unless you have a coach or you have people in your life to let you know and give you advice and support you to do it better. But you have to ask and be willing to receive the help, period. I pray this helps somebody. I pray that this lets someone know exactly what they may need to do. And if you sit here like, hey, man, I'm so glad I got, well, thank God for that. Let it go. Thank God that you have that person in your life. Seriously, because there's so many people who didn't. And for all the people who grew up in foster homes and felt they alone, and they did find somebody, and he didn't find people to help them, cherish them. I'm sure you already are, some of you. And for the ones that may be hard-headed and think since I'm by myself and my own mama didn't want whatever the process was or the thought was, it's not too late. It's not too late for you to find somebody to talk to help you become better. So boss up and ask for that help because we all need it. Now that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening.